Hey guys, what's going on? Paul here. Welcome back to another Cardano catch-up where we'll take a look at what's going on in Cardano right now and some of the biggest news, items and events from the last few days. We'll look at World Mobile and the links to Starlink. I'll give my opinion on that and look at some of the information there. Maybe voting on the blockchain in the US. We'll look at something there that Frederick said. Liqwid Finance V2 is now out on mainnet. A few centralized exchange listings. Cornucopias Tokenomics paper is out. Probably a few other things. I will put timestamps down below. Anything I miss, let me know in the comments. Give the video a like. Subscribe if you're new. Share it out to let others know what's going on in Cardano. I do appreciate it. Let's jump into it. Okay, so we'll start out with World Mobile and all of the talk around SpaceX, Starlink, and a few different things that are going on there. So it's actually nothing new that World Mobile are using Starlink as part of their infrastructure, but a lot of people are talking about it now. I think a lot coming from A2Ape and the information he's been putting together and putting out there. Definitely a good guy to follow over on Twitter for Cardano information and for World Mobile info the last few days. So here he references a Twitter space that happened last year. So April 23, where Mickey mentions that they are, so Mickey Watkins, the CEO, he's been on the channel here a few times, definitely need to get a catch up fairly soon too. He mentions that they're using Starlink as the backhaul in Nigeria. So World Mobile are all about connecting the unconnected, getting that last mile of connection. So that means that there is a backhaul, that is where the actual internet connection is coming from, and then they take it even further than that. So Starlink is what is used in that example, and then they take that further and everything comes back to that backhaul. The same with the aerostats, which we see that go up in the air. There is one connection comes into that, and then they can spread that out even further. And that was one of the other links was with SpaceX. Now, there was another tweet by A2Ape. I couldn't find it before this, but Fareed did cover it over on his channel, and you can see some of the images here. So this was last year or the year before. Mickey took a picture at SpaceX. There is also, in one of the recent SpaceX launches, you could see an aerostat in the background, and recent pictures from World Mobile, it looks like a very similar aerostat that they have been using. So links, are they using the SpaceX base as part of their testing, where they're testing the next aerostat launch? There was links here with this tree looked very similar on Google Street View to one that was seen in Mickey's picture of the aerostat flying. I'll let people make up their own minds whether it is happening there or it's not. Hopefully we will get some information on it fairly soon, but definitely World Mobile are using Starlink in different setups that they have, and Mickey has said they have a very good working relationship there. Are there any official partnerships? I don't know yet. Maybe at some point there might be, because you can see how it could make sense for them to actually have a partnership. In Reno this week, there was a few different people out there. You can see Mickey was there and Charles Hoskinson was there. Also, Clovernodes, I've mentioned him here on the channel before. Really good guy to follow over on Twitter for some of the latest on World Mobile too. Anytime there is a community call or anything like that, he puts together a really good summary. He also bought an air node, not aerostat. He bought an air node in the recent sale, and he was able to meet up with the host of that, the person who owns the property that it's going to be put on. And he said down here, if you think the rumors going around are bullish, you are absolutely not ready for what is coming from World Mobile this year and beyond. So from him being in Reno the last few days, I'm definitely very interested to see what's going to come of that. And just on the Starlink stuff, if you go to the deployment diary for World Mobile, you can see if I search on Starlink, it has been mentioned 23 times since they started this. And I think this started all the way back. The first mention was in May 22, when they were listing off some of the partnerships, collaborations, and vendors from their supply chain team, and Starlink was one of them. So you can go through this. I'll leave a link to it below. You can see all the different times that Starlink has been linked or part of the infrastructure that World Mobile are putting out. As ever, I'm going to be here for the long term with World Mobile. I think Mickey was on in 2021 first, so I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to come. Have my Earth node ready for when the mainnet launches, and really looking forward to seeing where this project goes long term. Next, we look at voting on the blockchain. Could we ever see voting in the US on the Cardano blockchain? So we've seen recently the Dubai police are starting to use the Cardano blockchain for certain tests with ballistics, and they're trialing it to see how that would work. This one was very interesting when I heard it with Frederick Hegard in a recent interview, and he mentioned that US states have approached him to see what could they do to bring voting on chain in certain states. And Stake with Pride put this one out. I'll play it for you here. Stake with Pride, another very good person to follow over on Twitter, takes all the different interviews, even interviews I've done, takes certain snippets from them to really bring some of the important information out of different interviews.
What we've seen is that we've been approached from sort of a couple of states in the US who say, hey, can you help us to do a lightweight blockchain solution to make it more transparent and accountable?
So whether this can be done in time this year, I'm not sure, but it's something that we could see in the future. So if I get to sit down with Frederick again fairly soon, I'll be able to ask him, is there any updates on that or where that's going to go? But always good to see interest like that for the Cardano blockchain. Next up, Cornucopias have released their tokenomics up. So this is their tokenomics paper. So we had the initial tokenomics of what the allocations were for different areas, but we didn't have this deep dive into how it's going to work in game. And this is something that a lot of games have failed in the Web3 space because it is so hard to create an in-game economy. With other games in the past, we've seen that people only come in to use the game to farm the token, and they ended up employing people to try and earn the token and sell off the token then. And it can boom in the beginning, but it generally always fails. So it's such a hard thing to get right. So Cornucopias brought in a lot of different people into this to try and get it right, and it's something that I'll need to do a separate video on. Josh, actually, who does be on the live streams here, done a 2-part series on this, diving deeper into this, so definitely check that one out too for more information on the tokenomics. And I will do a deeper dive myself, but I'll leave links to it down below if you want to check it out. This goes very deep. This goes right into the token economy, how it's going to be used, the different aspects of how you can use it in the game, how you can earn it, what it can be used for. If you go down through it here, it'll be part of the official marketplace within it that you can buy anything in the game. You will be using COPI to buy, so they'll be priced in USD, but they will be bought using COPI. Governance, rewards, you can advertise in the game. We've seen part of this if you have seen people walking around Solace lately. There are different boards that you can advertise on. You see Seven, some of his music playing throughout it, and some different advertising boards that he's up on in there too. So they will be available for advertising, and that will all be through COPI. So you can see here as well discounts if you're staking certain amounts of COPI, getting discounts on different things, buybacks, liquidity. There's a lot in this. It's not something I could dive into in this video, but wanted to highlight it for anybody who wants to actually go through this themselves. As you can see, it just goes deeper and deeper, and it's not something they have just thought on for a few hours and put this together. This is something that has taken a long time to put together, and there's a lot of thought has went into it. So great to see this coming out, and I will dive deeper into it in a future video. Next, we look at book.io. So it's been a while since I've had anyone from the Book team on the channel. Definitely due a catch up there too, but Book are going to be introducing credit card payments fairly soon. When I had Patrick on the channel a good while back now, we talked about this and how you want to allow people who don't understand blockchain yet, or maybe don't have a wallet, to come in and still get involved. And NMKR or NMaker have the capabilities for this, for people to buy with a credit card, and it sets up a wallet in the background. The user doesn't have to understand it at first, but it's a great way to help onboard people, an easy way to onboard people that they don't have to go and buy certain cryptocurrencies or set up different wallets to get involved at the start. So looking forward to seeing that one coming out on mainnet too. I don't think it's live just yet, but good to see things like that. It's the easier the UX and the UI you can make it for new people coming into crypto, the better it is going to be in the long term. Next, we look at Liqwid Finance. So Liqwid Finance V2 is now live on the Testnet. Again, this is one I'll do a separate video on, but just wanted to highlight it for anyone else who might want to jump in and start playing around with this already. And an interesting post here by It's Danny talking about one aspect of this that I really do like. It is about using multiple collaterals on the same loan. So you can see here in this screenshot, he was setting up a loan and he was using multiple different collaterals. So that means that Previous to this, what you do is for your loan, you put in one asset and that is what you use as your collateral. So you are very open to the volatility of that asset. So if that asset starts to go down fairly fast, then your loan comes at risk. If you have multiple different assets, then there is a good chance that your loan will be okay if the markets start to drop, unless it's a complete market wide. But if something happens, any of the individual protocols and the price of that one starts to drop, it puts less risk on your loan. It's one of the aspects I really like about Butane protocol as well. What they're doing with their synthetics is that you can have multiple assets for one CDP over on their platform. So I'll dive deeper into this when I get a chance. I'll do a separate video on it. I'll try it out first myself and then look to put together a video to see how it all works. But great to see Liqwid advancing, and congratulations to the team for getting this far already. Next, just a reminder on Charlie 3. So they have extended the bridge out to April 12th. So this is anybody who might still have C3 tokens over on Ethereum. You have until April 12th to bridge them over to Cardano. And as far as I know, then there will be no other option to bridge your old tokens over. Then I would say at this point, anybody who is going to bridge, or more than likely anyone who is, already has that done. So what you do is you bridge them across from Ethereum, and then you're able to claim them through drip drops, and there is an article there that goes through all of that. Then just some centralized exchange listings. So Bitget we've seen IAGON went live on Bitget 2 days ago as of recording this one, which is great to see more Cardano native assets getting listed on Bitget. I think SNEC is already there, and I'm not sure if there's anyone else on it yet. MEXC is becoming the go-to exchange for Cardano assets. We see that Butane is now gone live on MEXC. We also seen recently AXO was meant to go live, but that was cancelled or rescheduled, as you can see here, due to circumstances outside our control. The AXO listing on MEXC has been rescheduled. Indigo Protocol is going to be listing the Indy token there fairly soon, and I think there's a few other Cardano native assets that will be looking to get listed on MEXC fairly soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Trying to keep these as short as possible. There's a few topics today that I need to do individual videos on. If there's anything else you'd like to see me dive deeper into, let me know down below. Thanks for watching, share it out, and I'll talk to you soon.